Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a VeVe OMI update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. For not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. So, I guess there's a couple things to go over. One of which, marketing. I don't think it does any real good to market right now because you have a very, very long list of companies that have done heavy marketing in a bear market and it hasn't worked. They got next to no new users from it. So I understand that people are like, hey, they need to heavily market the app, they need to heavily market the token. It just wouldn't make sense right now because there is, one, there's not a lot of volume on the token. There's this one exchange that we're on called Deepcoin, and like 69, everyone comment nice down below with 69% of the token's volume is generally on that on any given day. Take that away, you have like 900,000 in volume, really not a lot. So going on like a major exchange like Coinbase, even though I would love that when the timing is right and appropriate, it's just not something that you would waste that exchange listing. You would waste the marketing right now for it if you did it. However, just because it's not a good idea to spend money on that doesn't mean that it's a bad idea to market in general. It's like, well, Chavez, if you market, you have to spend money. Well, not necessarily. Earlier this, or I guess last year, Doritos had a competition saying whoever makes the best 30-second commercial and sends it to us, we'll give you like $50,000, $500,000, however much it was. Now, obviously, Doritos had to pay like the $6 million for that 30-second commercial in the Super Bowl, but they had somebody else make it. They had, I'm assuming, hundreds, if not thousands, of people submit stuff. Now, what I think VeVe could do is they don't have to have a Super Bowl ad, but they can go on and say, anyone that makes us a 30-second or even a 3-minute video, dealer's choice, 30 seconds to 5-minute video on why you love VeVe, why you love OMI, why, and it doesn't even have to be like a shill, like, buy this because it's super low, you get 100 extra money. It could just be like, I like OMI for the convenience. If anyone remembers that episode of Zoe 101, where there was a competition on who can make the best ad for this like bike, and I think like Chase and whoever or Logan, whoever his partner was, they made like a Hollywood type of, 90 horsepower, it has this, comes in all these cool colors, and he just made it really Hollywood. And it was good. But what Zoe and Chase and their team did was they had people ride it around for the day, like they did in like Pokemon Gold, and so like, hey, ride this around, in Pokemon Blue and Red, and then you get the bike for free for the advertising. They had people ride it around, and then they asked them, like, what's your favorite part about it? It's like, oh, I like the brakes, I like the handling, I like the acceleration of it, I like the fact that you can get all these cool colors, matches my purse, and you had people's genuine reactions. It wasn't scripted. It was like a lot of commercials you can kind of tell. Like, this is not scripted. And, they wound up winning. So what VeVe could do is, again, they don't have to pay for a time slot on the Super Bowl, and they don't even have to give these people money. Like, well, Chavez, these people that are going to win, like, again, why I picked the Doritos commercials, because a buddy of mine knows the guy who won. I think it's a guy and his son that did the Doritos commercial, and he won. And he would 100% do this. It's like, well, Chavez, you said you wouldn't even have to pay him. Well, they wouldn't have to spend money. They could afford to spend some OMI, though. The business development wallet has 20-something billion OMI in it. And I feel like if you want to go in and give away 100 million, you could even give away 200 million, in prizes of the top 10 people that did it. That's one of the ways that you could go and have people mass market for you, and they're going to be good. You say, whoever makes the best 30-second to 5-minute video on why you love VeVe and OMI, the top 10 people, the top 10 videos, and it doesn't matter where you upload them. You could upload them to Instagram, Reels, to Threads, to TikToks, to YouTube, to X. Use the hashtag VeVe Digital Collectibles, use $OMI, whatever you want. I think the best scenario would be the top 10 people that were to get paid wouldn't even be in the VeVe community. They would just, and now granted, you have some massively talented people in the VeVe community, but you would have a bunch of people that are outside the community that these are experts at what they do, including the Dorito commercial guy, would come in and do it because he would come in and he would likely win. Even if he doesn't win, he would at least get one of those prizes. He would get paid for it. And VeVe doesn't have to take any money from their war chest. They just give them OMI. And it's not like they would have to, like, okay, well, OMI's only valuable in this, asset. You'd have to, sell that in order to pay them. Like, no, they can just give them OMI. And again, people would do it. If you were to type in WTF is VeVe, you have some shorts from VeVeversity over there. Miss her. But you go on and you have Crypto Far West, WTF is VeVe 2. The best marketing that VeVe ever had didn't come from VeVe. Now, granted, years ago, you had ESPN show VeVe on a thing. You had Disney tweet out about it. But the best marketing that really came from the community was this video that is 16 minutes long. I'm in it a couple times. 18,000. It was awesome. It got you hyped. It got you to break open that piggy bank, to break open that wallet and be like, I need to get some of this right now. And that's the type of stuff. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anything from VeVe that makes me like no type of marketing video that makes me go like, I need this right now. They did a Gambit thing on Instagram where it looked really cool. Like, it made me look at it like, what is that? Like, if I didn't know what VeVe is, I'd be like, is this a game? Is it like, because I'll show it right now. Like, I don't even know if I can play the music without getting demonetized, but that looks cool. Like, that looks dope. That makes me question, like, hey, what is that? That's freaking cool. But it doesn't necessarily make me want to buy because I don't know what it is. So I feel like if they were to do that competition, they would get dozens of good quality videos of people saying, what is VeVe? What is OMI? Why should we care? And again, they wouldn't have to spend $1. Take couple hundred million OMI from the business development wallet, where you have tens of billions, and that's it. And maybe it goes and has some downward pressure on the token, but in my opinion, I think that it would be a net positive, and you would have more people buying and they'd get more revenue than the amounts of people that would sell. Because I know a couple people that if they won, they just wouldn't sell. At least not right away. But again, this is all my opinion. One of the other things that I think they could do is, I have had a couple of calls the last few days about my DACAT IP. And again, VeVe is the Netflix of digital collecting. Netflix in like 2008, where there's like no competition. I think maybe Hulu was around back in the day in 2008 with Netflix, but Netflix was the best at what they did at getting all of this licensed content. And eventually they had some of their own content, which was great. Cobra Kai, Stranger Things, Netflix took really good care of some of those shows. And now, now everybody has a streaming network, and it's dozens, and there's a lot of strife about that. But right now, there's really no competition that VeVe has. And the one thing that really helped Netflix stay relevant all of these years was creating their own content. VeVe has a diorama going up for sale in like 13 hours, and that's cool. I'm gonna get it. It looks cool. You put it in the VeVeverse. You can make really cool scenes. I'm going to get one. It's like $20. And they'll gross $35,000 on that. Sure, cool. It's a drop in the bucket for, I think they've done close to $600,000 in the month of May. Gross. And what gross revenues, not just gross numbers, just gross revenues for that. But they don't really have any of their own content. Like, they have that they don't have to share with anyone because they don't. It's been said by WC3NTE, who's the community manager of Stacker. You have Foster Hilt, who's the community manager of ECOMI, and like the godfather of OMI, Dr. Profit, who's CEO of Stacker. they've all said like, yeah, you can use our likeness, you can use whatever. We don't want anything for it. If you were to make digital collectibles of those guys and sell them for OMI and they would get burned, it's all burn. And unlike Epico, they wouldn't have to share any profits with anyone. So I think those are really, really good. And again, if they create their own IP, that's something that would help keep them relevant in the future. And again, why I told you about the calls I had for DACAT is because it's relevant. It's pre-revenue, and I had 2 people call asking to absorb the IP or straight up just buy it. And they weren't just from any Yahoo. It was from, I'll protect the people's privacy, but one had one has a comic publishing company, and that's what they do. And apparently this, and the smaller titles, this happens all the time. They flip, they buy, whatever. I'm not looking to sell it for $100K. Even though apparently that's what it's worth right now. I didn't know I did that, but I did. Pre-revenue, $100K. Granted, it's going to be on VeVe. They're going to have revenues later this year, and this is separate from the DACAT token, which I have a small amount of, and I'll buy more of that later in the year. This isn't really about that. This is about the IP in general. And the IP, what we're doing is, and I guess I should mention this as well. Let me show you. The DACAT IP, which majority of the IP held by me, $1.6 million market cap for the token with $354,000 in liquidity, locked. Can't take it out, can't be rugged. Versus, let's say, OMI on base, which has a $53 million market cap with $250,000 in liquidity. I am clearly doing something right here. One person that contacted me that had the publishing company says like, hey, we'll absorb the IP, we'll market the crap out of it for you, and we'll take basically 50% of everything. And it was like, it's a lot. And something like that may happen one day. So instead of when we go on VeVe later this year, instead of being a independent publisher, we go on through this person's IP, which is in the comic community is pretty notable. And then somebody else gave me a call who's known pretty well in certain worlds on this earth, and basically wanted the same thing. And I was like, it could be under RIP, and they have something else. And kind of put me in my place here. I said like, this, it sounds like you would take this IP that is worth, X amount of dollars right now, and maybe you could do a quick flip, sell it for like 5 times that much. And he said, I could, but there's another IP that I'm working with that is already worth 8 figures, and it has no revenue. And again, I won't say exactly who it is, where it is, whatever, but it's something that'll likely sweep the nation in the next 1 to 2 years. Come out of nowhere, nobody knows what it is. So clearly this guy knows what he's doing. But again, buying it for $100,000, I think is pretty small right now. But I say this to tell you that I want VeVe to go in and buy in some of the DACAT IP. I don't want them to buy all of it because I believe I can make this a multi-million-dollar IP. And what I'll do is I'll continue writing everything. The first 2 comics are written for DACAT. There's one with Ladies on Soul with the DACAT tie-in. I'm writing the Space Penguins right now, also with the DACAT tie-in. And I'm writing the 3rd DACAT comic as well. So it's a fantastic universe with fantastic characters. And if VeVe buys in, they get all the characters. Like, it's not just one cat. It's multiple cats. There's multiple mollusks. There's dogs. There's octopuses, octopi. There's a bunch of crazy stuff that happens with just wonderful characters that are so real and so colorful. It's VeVe's chance to have their own IP, which I consider my baby, that I can continue working at it. And again, they don't really have to do much. I'll be the one working at it. So again, that's my idea for them for doing their marketing with OMI, doing their getting their own IP, and much more. So everyone, if you agree, comment down below. If you don't agree, comment down below anyway, and tell me why. Everyone, please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. And everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. Love you guys. Thank you. Bye. Meow, meow, meow.